Hello everyone, welcome to my Forza Motorsport force feedback video. Well, it took a little bit, and the biggest reason is because I rather, instead of crying about the game, like most videos I've seen for the past few days, a lot of stuff, I rather actually try to understand things and make the best of it, and then help you get the best settings for you. Now, I'm no turn 10 sync. In fact, let's just say I'm an old school Forza Motorsport type of player. Oh, the 4 was good, everything else is rubbish. Yeah, but instead of crying about the usual things like everyone else does. I mean, YouTube is already full of complaints everywhere, so I'm sure they are aware of the issues. And I'll actually create my own video offering solutions, not just crying, in the near future. But that's a topic for another day. Now, these settings I'm going to share with you, and I will explain some of the main things. They are settings mostly for people who actually want to play a game that they trying to replicate what the real deal is, because there's sim races and there's sim races. There's some people like me. I try to, from my real life experience, try to enjoy the game in a similar manner as much as I can. And some others, they delete some forces here and there and stuff like that because it's inconvenient, makes their lap time a little bit slower. Oh, tough stuff. I'm not like that. I like to enjoy while I drive. That's what I like to drive. So now let's hop into the game. I'm going to grab a stock car, say probably a Porsche or BMW, something rear-wheel drive with a little bit of power, so you can actually see how the wheel reacts to it. Because I, for one, believe that Turn 10 nailed it on the feedback, as opposite that many people are saying. And yes, there's some options to go through, and the game should have a force feedback, from the start, like to accommodate all the cars. Forza is not like any other game. Forza, you can buy, say, Datsun, yeah, with less than 100 bhp, with a really cushy suspension, feels like a boat, and then suddenly you can make it 4-wheel drive, slap some race tires, and more than 1,000 horsepower in it. And do you really think the feedback will have to feel the same? No, it won't. And that brings me to another reason why I think Turn 10 this time, they made a really good improvement on the feedback. I think that's a good start. There's a lot of disasters elsewhere, but not the feedback. I really think this time they nail it. So, not to make this video too long, and obviously you want to know the settings. I mean, look, if you just want to copy paste, feel free to do it. But if you really want to understand, so you can maybe some fine tune for your own wheel. Say, for example, I'm using a Trustmaster 300, still, growing a massive beard while I'm waiting for my Fanatec DD, because Fanatec is upside down apparently at the moment. I also have one of my friends, teammates, we can call it, uses a G29. I did use a G29 in the past to have an idea of how it works compared to the TX or T300. Is the same thing. But I believe these settings, they will work for any single wheel. Sadly, I haven't received my DD yet, so I can't really comment. I don't like to throw stuff about. So when I get the new wheel, I'll give an idea. But I think these settings, they will work for everyone. Obviously, different wheels, different Newton meters of torque. So you have to adjust things according to your willpower, if that makes sense. So let's hop into the game. Let's grab a car. One moment. Oh, and by the way, sorry if I'm not much of an edit type of guy. I'm kind of learning all this stuff. Actually, my daughter is the one that helps me with thumbnails and stuff like that. I'm a bit of an ape on those things. But yeah, if you wanna stick around with someone that actually knows what they're talking about, got the pace to back it up on several games, not just Forza, yeah, just stick around and you will see that you will improve a lot very soon. Now, let's see. Silly me. I was recording earlier and I forgot to switch the screens on OBS. Yeah, such a pro. Okay, let's show you. Let's show you the car and how the wheel reacts. Oh man, this technology stuff. Let's have a look. So, my cars, I have some sort of a stock BMW here. It's got only some power upgrades just for the sake of giving it a bit more oomph. Now, let's double check. So yeah, all that nice stuff. Actually, let's give it a bit more. A bit too much. Oh yeah, I don't have points enough. A little bit. So yeah, that's it. Helps a little. Nothing on the brakes, as you can see. No suspension, nothing. Weight reduction, everything is stock. No tires. Whoop. Yeah, no tires. Yeah, wheels. Who cares? Drivetrain, nothing. No eBay spoilers. No engine swaps. Okay. Yeah, confirm. Now, let's go to test drive. So that's let's see a track. There's one here, but I actually like it on ACC. Kyalami, if I'm spelling this properly. Let's see. Now, try to do this a bit quick, otherwise the video is going to be way too long. Obviously, showing is not the same thing as feeling, but I will try to exaggerate a lot of things. Slow down, so you can actually see. Slide. Look at that, see? I pick up some speed. And nothing else. Look at that. Can you find these ways out? It actually makes me look like a film. Oh! Of course, feedback in the game is so bad. Oh yeah. Very bad. I mean, what more do you need to actually drive really? I just don't get it. I honestly believe. Oops, pressing wrong button. No, which one is? I think maybe. I really don't don't understand what one needs more from a game to have it do or what the real deal is. Look at that. Whoa! Bring it over. Whoop. Again. Yep. See it. Going around the corner. Power! Woo. Obviously, look, I'm trying to make this really way more neat. So you can control the direction, but I need to throttle that. Now, there is some slides here that we can catch. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's a bit too much of an angle. Let me try to show you that. Yeah, that's what I would say is with the original steering rack, they will be able to catch the slide it's a steering for extra long. If there wasn't a wall, the car will come back on its own. Yeah. So high speed one. Come on. Everything when you go off the back. I mean, if this is bad feedback, I don't know. Yeah. Don't know what to say about it. Point, another wall. Now, enough jiggling around. Let me show you the settings. Look, this time I'm not going to show a front-wheel drive car because you will see it by yourself. So let's try to make the video a little shorter. The principle is the same. You will feel the torque, steer, everything. So let's go on the settings. Now, settings. Somewhere. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, have a look. Yes, I use braking line because it's a game. I play the way I want. I use the bonnet cam. I can use third person. I play with the controller sometimes while I don't feel like grabbing the wheel. I recommend ABS off, LUN, because it's gonna help your lap times a little bit, and you know it's a bit more fun. Now steering. This feels so wrong. I don't use simulation. Yeah, look, I tried it. I still think it's hilarious. Just use normal. Look. Even on public races, I can tell when someone is using simulation steering. Yeah, just by the way they lose control of the car and stuff like that. It's just really overcomplicating things. Yeah, it's fine if you keep under the limit, you know, just about the limit. But as soon as you go over the limit, especially with speed, it just doesn't make sense. So just keep it on normal. That's what I recommend. And everything else, I mean, clutch, yeah, look, if you slap a racing gearbox on any car, you can use the clutch. Might make you a smidge faster. Personally, most of the stuff I've been doing, it's just manual, you know, relaxing. Enjoy, have fun. Now, settings. Okie dokie. Oh, before I forget, dead zones. A lot of people say, oh yeah, you know, just do this. No, don't do it. Why? Yeah, you might use less than 5. Let's say you have some dust or a problem with your accelerator pedal, for example, or, you know, you have a leafed newspaper underneath it. You're not going to be able to press it fully, isn't it? So it's best to have a bit of a dead zone on that. So you should, or you always 100% on the acceleration, not just 98 or 99. You see what I mean? So yeah, just leave it as is, man. I really this stuff I just left it as is. Braking, that's another story for a different day. Now, vibration scale. Basically, it's just the wheel vibrating, especially when you lock wheels or you force the steering too much. It helps you. It's a little gauge for you to feel like you're going over the grip limits. In fact, I'll tell you another tip. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, people can be faster on a controller." Yes, look, you can be as much faster in the wheel. The thing is, there is an unnatural way of driving in Forza. Basically, say, is more noticeable in front wheel cars like Hondas and stuff like that. So you can gain a little bit extra time by, keep forcing the wheels. Not a lot, but just let them rub. And then you're gonna gain that extra time that you gain in a controller, because if you listen to the car while you play on a controller, yeah, you can tell, it's because it's a controller, it's actually forcing the wheels. The tires are screaming all the time. When we drive on a wheel, we don't really make the tires scream all the time. So you need to go to that unnatural feeling of forcing the tires to gain, a few tenths of a second in a lap. But I mean, to me, that is irrelevant. I don't play this for lap times. Yeah, I go and do some rivals, but not too fussed about it. I like to have fun. So vibration scale, yeah, just leave it more or less in the middle. Reduce it if you want. If you want more, just put more. But I don't recommend putting more. Otherwise, it's gonna maybe interfere with the fidelity to other things. Now, scale. As you can see here, shows 36. I've been playing between 35 to 40 as a general rule. For the wheel, and then some cars, sometimes I might add 5%, less percent. Say for example, I've been at the beginning I was driving plenty of D-class cars, C-class cars, E-class and stuff like that, slower stuff, stock rubber and stuff like that. So yeah, 40. Now suddenly you're gonna soup up your car with some really wide racing tires, stiffer suspension and stuff like that, roll cage. So it will feel heavier because again, Forza is not like any other game, because of this tuning aspect of it, building a car with a lot of horsepower and stuff like that. It reflects, on the wheel itself. So you might want to knock it down. Steering self-alignment, as the name says, it's basically, especially if as someone that like drift, yeah, it helps you a lot on drift, catching slide and stuff like that. So I think this is very important, especially for faster cars, rear-wheel drive. Yeah, it helps a lot. 200 all the way. Me pressing the buttons. Mechanic trail scale. Well, I left this in the middle to create a balance. There was a point I had it on 0, to be really strong in a sense, but then it makes the wheel very snappy on a unnatural way. Like, say you're going around the corner and suddenly it feels like you can't control the edge of the grip because it's too snappy. So I found that the middle is it's very it's appropriate. I like it this way. Now, I can trail scale, road feel, load sensitivity, wheel damping, center. Okay, wheel damping. So these four, all the way up, crank them up. It helps you get more feel of things. That's the whole point of it. Yeah. So all the way up. Now, center spring scale, again, all the way up, because that's what kind of helps bringing the wheel to the center, if that makes sense. you know, when you go around the corner, you have that little force of, you know, want to bring the wheel back, so it gives you an idea of, you know, how much are you forcing the car. It kind of helps you get to that edge of the grip and stay there, consistent. Um, Dynamic damper behavior. Now, this was actually a friend of mine that we came to sort of a conclusion last night that, yeah, in the middle, it's right. At the beginning, I had this like 10, 5, you know, because I tune a lot of cars. I mean, I tune all the cars I drive here. And for me, for my friends and stuff like that, and I share it with the community, you know, decent cars that I know good times for, you know, racing, multiplayer, and stuff like that. I don't like to spam stuff around. I only share the good ones. With a somewhat neutral driving feeling to kind of accommodate the masses, so to speak. Now, this dynamic damper behavior is like if you have it on minimum, is the damping. You go on a damping side, suspension, you feel the suspension a lot, but then again, you feel the tires too little. So it's not good. Now, if you turn it the other way, it's you feel too much tire and not really suspension. So you really want to feel the suspension because that's where it helps you feel the you know, the load, the weight transfer of the car. So yeah, I think this is the reason that more or less needs to stay in the middle to stay balanced. So you can feel all the things and distinguish. Now these two, don't mess around with them. I mean, this is just silly. I think. Say makes your steering rack a little slower and then suddenly faster at the end. I mean, yeah, just leave it 50-50 and it's off. So yeah, the most important one, it's the scale. This is your main point. Try all the settings. Okay, let me push this screen again. Okay, there we go. So, like I said, this is a low-end wheel, is a budget wheel. I mean, my trusty wheel has been already like 10 years. So it doesn't have as much power as others, so that's why the scale is so low. Maybe Logitech G29 920, probably gonna have to knock it down to maybe 27, 28, 30 maximum and still tweak it on the cars. Better wheels, I'm sure you'll be able to crank this up if you want a really, you know, reactive wheel and stiffer. So yeah, I think that this is in a way universal for everyone. But then again, I will try to confirm this later when I get my DD. Still waiting. So yeah, look, if this helps you in any way, leave a comment below. Because you know, the more we share our, you know, our thoughts about it, about all this stuff, the better. And by the way, yeah, the thumbnail was made by my daughter because I'm completely useless at editing and all that stuff. I mean, and yeah, that's it. So if you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, you know, for the next videos and stuff like that. Like I said, if you're interested, stick around, and I'm gonna do some more guides and some more stuff to you know, help you guys understand more about the cars and things and have fun. It's a game, you know, just have fun. Happy racing.